So the casting sites. So probably the main ones that industry uses in North America, at least, are Actors Access, Casting Workbook, and Casting Networks. Some secondary ones may be Mandy.com for a lot of non-union projects. IMDb is another one that I would lump in there. It's kind of half social media, half casting site. Are there any other profile sites that you know of?
Star Now.
Okay.
is a site based in New Zealand, but it's also for castings that do happen here in Canada or in the US. So that is something to look into as well. It's fairly cheap. But those would probably be the main 6.
Right. So what this means is you went out and you nailed your headshot session.
Oh, Backstage.
Backstage.
Sorry.
You nailed your head. Do you make profiles on Backstage, or do you just
I believe you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you nailed your headshot sessions. You got 4 to 6 looks so that you can be cast in different productions as different types of characters, the characters that suit you. And then you put together your best demo reel of the footage that you got right now. You updated your resume. Well, then now you got to go update all the casting sites, because chances are that's where casting directors are finding you. And if you are represented, that's how they're submitting you. So there's no point in having all these great headshots if your casting profiles don't have your new headshot. So then you got to immediately, when you get all this stuff, do a sweep of every casting site and make sure you and your agent on your agent profile that they have all of your headshots. And then again, your agent can custom submit you based on the role. They can submit this headshot or that headshot or this headshot based on the look and feel of the character. And all of those sites generally have a resume builder within them, which is, again, a little tedious because you just built your resume and now you're going to have to go and copy and paste all that and build line by line in there. But it's worth it. All this time and energy and investment is worth it, because this is going to get you auditions and get you gigs that can be life-changing gigs that pay you 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures eventually down the line. And some of them have fees too. So some people are like, I can't afford to pay all these fees. It's like, well, maybe you can't afford not to. Like you can't simultaneously be thinking, I want to have the dream career. I want to be a leading actor, and I want to be on Broadway, and I want to win an Emmy and an Oscar and a Tony, and I want to be an A-lister, and simultaneously be thinking, but I'm not willing and able to spend $200 a year on a casting site. Those two things do not mix. You can't be one without the other. So you have to figure out, I need this. This is an investment in me and my career. And you got to beg, borrow, or steal the money, or you got to go to work on your job and save up the money to do it. And all of those sites, it's like, if that site lands you 1 gig, it's going to pay for that fee 5 times, 10 times, like $200. There's not a union job that you could book for under $800 really. So it's going to pay for it. One gig in the union world is going to pay for your yearly fee 4 or 5-fold most likely. So you got to see this stuff as an investment, and make sure your sizing charts are up to date on all of those. Make sure your special skills sections, and think of all those special skills. Can you skateboard? Can you rollerblade? Have you driven horses? What sports? You play tennis? You play squash? You play baseball? Can you play the guitar? Can you play the recorder? Can you play the harmonica? Put all that stuff in there, because often the casting sites are searchable by filter. So if it's a specific role and they need a guitar player, they might literally type in guitar. And if you haven't checked that box, you won't be one of the actors that pops up. Or if you're a singer and you haven't checked the singer box, or you haven't checked your, sometimes it goes as specific as like, are you a soprano or a baritone or an alto? Like what vocal range do you have? The more things you have checked off in those boxes, the more chances you have of popping up in those searches and being at the top of those searches. And then they see your headshot, and then they see your thumbnail, and then they're going to click on your thumbnail and ask for an audition or ask for a submission from you. So go through all that stuff. And your sizing, again, you want to make sure that that's up to date, so that you don't want to get cast in something and then wardrobe department starts pulling pieces for you, and then you show up and your waist is 38, and when you made the profile it was 34, or vice versa. That's a pain in the ass for casting people and for wardrobe people. So and be accurate. Don't fake stuff. I know a lot of people sometimes they'll like over report their height and under report their weight, or under report their sizings, because they think it's like, just own who you are right now. And then if you're looking at your height and weight, well, you can't really change your height, but if you're looking at your physical measurements, and if for some reason you don't like where they are, and I know that I've been there, but there's no point faking that. It's just put who you are right now, acknowledge the reality of who you are right now, and then strive, be like, okay, 3 months from now, I'm going to update these. And in the next 90 days, I'm going to go through a health and wellness and workout routine, so that when I see those numbers, I'm envisioning, oh, like, ooh, those are the numbers I want to be when I see that guy. And in the meantime, give yourself some self-love, and just don't fake that stuff. That's just like, that's the worst, I think, because then you're selling. What that is it's like under promise, over deliver. You don't want to over promise, under deliver. You can't. So like it's in a way it's fraudulent. It's lack of truth and authenticity. It's just let people know this is who you are and own that. And if they don't want who you are, then fuck them. Just that's not who you are right now. So they don't need you for this role.